This is a presentation on evaluating the impact of Desmos Classroom on improving student mastery via human performance technology. We will begin with an overview of HPT, then discuss HPT in educational technology, followed by an overview of Desmos, and finally, speculate on applying the HPT framework to a high school math course by using Desmos. Heads up, there is a 3-question knowledge check at the end of each section. Before we look at the overview, let's start with some key terms. First, Desmos Classroom is an online platform to copy, modify, or create innovative math activities that encourage student exploration and discovery. Next, human performance technology is a systematic approach that aims to identify and close a performance gap. And finally, technology refers to any tools used to accomplish a task. Let's look at an overview of HPT. O'Driscoll provides a flowchart to diagram the HPT model through performance analysis, cause analysis, intervention selection and design, implementation, and evaluation of results. The flowchart provides examples of the different phases and how they work together to continuously identify, improve, and evaluate the performance discrepancy or gap. Knowing what a performance gap is super important. The performance gap is the difference between current and desired performance levels. Once the performance gap has been identified, the next step is to investigate the cause. Possible causes include a lack of consequences, incentives, or rewards, data, information, and feedback, environmental support, resources, and tools, individual capacity, motives and expectations, or skills and knowledge. Possible interventions vary depending on whether the cause is due to human resource development, organizational development, human resource management, or environmental engineering. What I'm about to say is important. Education or training is not always the best solution. Some examples of non-educational interventions include feedback systems, team building, employee relations, and facilities design. After implementing the intervention, the results are evaluated, and the cycle begins again. Here it is, our first knowledge check. Try to answer the questions as I read through them. When I'm finished reading through them, we'll take a look at the correct answers. 1. True or false? The model includes performance analysis, cause analysis, intervention selection and design, implementation, and evaluation. 2. True or false? The best intervention is always education. 3. What is a performance gap? Let's see how you did. 1 is true. These were the components on the diagram we looked at. 2 is false. Other interventions included team building and facilities design. 3. A performance gap is the difference between current and desired performance levels. Let's look at HPT and educational technology. HPT in educational technology includes virtual learning and various aspects of technology used in an educational classroom setting. The following examples emphasize HPT when educational technology is used in a traditional classroom or in-person campus setting. Esmera et al. Conducted a study that used HPT to increase sustainability and faculty use of open educational resources in their courses. After an analysis that included interviews and gathering various documents, the researchers found there was no structure established to evolve and mature the OER program. Suggested interventions included long-term documented strategic planning, implementation, and evaluation in alignment with the program goals. Powers and Moore conducted a study that used HPT to analyze efforts surrounding a learning management system. This organization teaches aircraft pilots and mechanics. Over 6 months, the analysis and design phase included observations, reviewing documents, meetings, and correspondence. The multiple systems created challenges in locating information, grading, delivering content, and aligning assessment methods with course objectives. A team with stakeholders, researchers, and information technology members was created to design and implement a functional product. The team conducted interviews that revealed gaps regarding how management and trainers contributed to organizational goals. The training process was stored in information technology where trainers could not access it. Information technology processes negatively impacted the trainers and learners, and the company was not using training event feedback to improve the quality of the training. The researchers plan to interview end users when the new LMS program is implemented. A study by Lucien and Park used HPT to design and develop an advising virtual assistant called Ava, a chatbot to support academic advising sustainability in higher education. The researchers used interviews, surveys, and various documentation and determined that the advisors were short on time and were not able to answer all the student questions. The needs-based assessment revealed that Ava, a chatbot with prescriptive advising information, could help close the performance gap. This is the actual Ava chatbot. The chatbot, designed like an instant message application, included 545 prescriptive answers to frequently asked questions. The chatbot was implemented and analytics were collected to evaluate chatbot usage and user survey feedback. Evaluating the usage and feedback supports the claim that Ava was a success, and the developers continue to use the analytics and feedback to improve the chatbot program. All three of these studies mention interviews, documents, alignment with the overall mission or course objectives, as well as all of them mentioning the sustainability of long-term use of the intervention. Here is our second knowledge check. Remember, try to answer each one as I read through them. 1. True or false? The terms virtual learning and educational technology can be used interchangeably. 2. True or false? HPT can be applied to industry, corporate, virtual learning, and educational technology. 3. What were two of the three types of educational technology mentioned in this section? One is false. Educational technology can also be used in a traditional classroom setting. 2 is true. And 3, the three types mentioned were OER, a chatbot, and LMS. Desmos is another example of educational technology. Although not used in any HPT study yet, Desmos Classroom is an engaging, interactive educational technology program that can be used in a math classroom setting. Our upcoming speculation will use Desmos. Desmos Classroom is an online educational technology platform allowing teachers to create, share, and modify interactive activities. Individual slides can assess student progress using multiple choice, checkboxes, list ordering, math responses, graphing, or a card sort. Desmos can also collect student sketches and free responses. The image on the right is a side panel in Desmos. Desmos can give students immediate feedback and prevent them from moving on without a certain level of mastery, which the activity creator or editor sets. Students find active learning engaging and motivating. According to Song and Kidd, active learning increases student engagement and motivation, uses higher order thinking skills, develops student skills, typically includes immediate feedback, and can use a variety of learning styles. Appleton states that Desmos Classroom provides innovative math teaching through interactive exploration and discovery. In a study by Glaze et al., they found that teachers value Desmos Classroom as educational technology that deepens students' conceptual understanding by providing engaging and interactive activities that encourage student exploration. Appleton describes Desmos Classroom as a powerful educational technology that encourages problem solving by piquing students' curiosity, having them make predictions, and modifying their predictions based on their results. Glaze et al. Cautioned that Desmos Classroom should enhance classroom learning and not replace the student-teacher interaction due to a lack of teacher prep time or overcrowded classrooms. The image on the left shows a screenshot of a student activity, but I think a demo would be even better. So what you see here is just one slide in an activity that consists of 24 slides. The purpose of this activity is for students to discover what the base of the exponential function does, the exponent, and that final number at the end. If we change those, what effect does it have on the line? So our goal is to gather all the stars. I'm going to start by clicking launch, and you can see them drop down. So it looks like we are trying to figure out, how do I flip that line so I can gather all my stars? So something a student might do is come in here and maybe change this one. So take a look at where it's crossing that y-axis just so you can see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and change that to 8. Okay, so I'm going to backspace, get an 8, and it bumped it way up higher. Okay, so that's not the component that is reversing our line. So let's get back to what we had. Maybe students would try to change what's out front. So I'll go ahead and try that. I'll just make it a negative. And you can see it flipped it down. Okay, so it's still not what we're looking for. What if we change something up here in the exponent? Like maybe they want it to be 8 more than x. So we'll try 8 plus x. Okay, so that moved it to the left. Still not what we're looking for. So really, what else could we possibly change? We've changed the part at the end, we've changed the base. The only other thing I can think of is, what if we tried a negative up in the exponent? Let's just see what happens. Oh, that one looks nice. Let's try to launch and see if we gather up all of our stars. There we go, success. And then the student would just continue working through the activity, and they're not receiving any penalties as they're going through this. So it's just discovery. They make some predictions and then modify their predictions based on the results. This is an image that shows that as students are working, the teacher can track student progress on a dashboard grid screen. It's knowledge check time. 1, true or false? At the time of this recording, August 2024, there have not been any peer-reviewed journal articles that use Desmos Classroom in an HPT study. 2, true or false? Teachers can view student progress in real time in a Desmos activity. 3, true or false? In some Desmos activities, students can adjust the equation of the line without penalty. All of these are true. Let's look at a speculation regarding HPT and Desmos. This is a speculation on how the HPT framework could be used to investigate the impact of Desmos Classroom on improving student mastery in the Systems of Equations unit in the course. The context is a high school senior last chance course that uses the Math Ready high school curriculum developed by the Southern Regional Education Board. The curriculum sequence is similar to a traditional Algebra 2 course and meets the 4th math credit requirement for graduation in South Carolina. The curriculum is mainly guided discovery and focuses on broad concepts rather than more complicated procedures in a second-year algebra course. The course prepares students who plan to attend technical or community college to be successful on the Accuplacer exam, allowing them not to need to repeat remedial math using unnecessary time and money in their goal to obtain a certificate or degree. Only one instructor teaches this course at the school. The performance analysis will identify the goals and performance discrepancies in the Systems of Equations unit in the Math Ready course. The learning goals include 3 measurable objectives. Data from the previous year of roughly 200 students will be analyzed to measure the actual performance. Assignment and quiz grades are available to analyze and could determine which sections of the unit are problematic. All unit tests and final exams are in the instructor's possession, and particular questions that address the specific objectives can be tallied to give quantitative data on actual performance. At this particular school, the desired performance for each student's learning objective is that at least 80% of students show mastery, where mastery is defined as a minimum of 70% accuracy. The cause analysis investigates what is causing the performance gap. Based on the instructor, Possible causes are probably unrelated to consequences or incentives because the grading structure is the same across all units. However, this unit seems to be the most problematic. The instructor comments that some causes could be students not getting frequent or helpful immediate feedback. Maybe students do not recall prerequisite knowledge. The activities could be outdated or overly burdensome, which may lead to a lack of student participation or motivation. And maybe students never had the prerequisite skills developed that are necessary for performance. Based on the data and instructor interview, the recommendation is to create an engaging, interactive Desmos classroom set of activities that address all possible causes. Students have shown increased participation in other Desmos classroom activities in this course, which may address the concern of outdated activities. As students work through the Desmos activities, they receive immediate feedback. In designing the activity, the feedback must be helpful by explaining the reasons for the error, not binary feedback of correct or incorrect. Design could include links or QR codes to brief instructional videos for students who need a quick recall of prerequisite knowledge and links to other activities that allow students to develop the skills if necessary. There should also be embedded opportunities for students to provide suggestions for improving the activity throughout the activity or at the end. Both open-ended and Likert scale feedback could help evaluate and improve the activity. Before implementation, the instructor plans to have Algebra 2 teachers try the activity and provide feedback. After the suggested edits are complete, the instructor plans to use the activity in all 3 courses in the fall semester. Student feedback will allow the instructor to improve the activity for the 3 courses in the spring semester. To evaluate the impact of Desmos Classroom on improving student mastery of systems of equations, the instructor will align specific quiz and test questions with the student learning objectives. The correct results will be tallied to give quantitative data on actual performance. Results will be compared to previously collected data in the original performance analysis, as well as the desired school performance. If the desired performance is unmet, the instructor plans to reevaluate possible causes of the performance gap and either modify the design or implement a new strategy. Here it is, our final knowledge check. 1. Was this speculation regarding the unit on exponential functions or the unit on systems of equations? 2. What were 2 of the 4 possible causes suggested by the teacher? 3. How else could HPT be used in education? Number 1. The unit we used to speculate how HPT could be used was systems of equations. However, the demo was an activity from the exponential functions unit. 2. Students not getting frequent or immediate helpful feedback. Maybe students do not recall prerequisite knowledge. The activities could be outdated. And maybe the students never had the prerequisite knowledge. 3. Possibilities seem endless. Hopefully, we see use of HPT in educational technology in the future. In conclusion, effective education includes identifying student performance gaps and implementing strategies to improve student mastery. HPT is an approach that can be applied to education by identifying the student performance gap and finding the difference between the desired performance and actual performance. Students find educational technology, such as Desmos Classroom, engaging. The motivation to participate and persevere leads to improvement in student mastery, which narrows the performance gap. HPT is an excellent approach to continuously improve our teaching strategies, especially as educational technology rapidly evolves. Thank you for your time, and please reach out with any questions. Thank you.